Caitlin Clark finished up one of the most remarkable years of basketball playing up in quite some time.
Caitlin Clark's arrival turned the Indiana Fever into instant contenders, right? Not so fast. Lexie Hull reveals the unexpected struggles that rocked the locker room in those early days.
We were just like sick that we had lost so many games, and also feeling like we were better than that.
From a dismal 1-win 8-loss start to becoming playoff contenders, Hull takes us on a roller coaster ride of emotions. She exposes the moments of doubt, the lighthearted moments, and the turning point that transformed this team into the talk of the WNBA. Ready for the unfiltered truth about the Fever's rocky road to success? I hope you are, because Lexie will share all the juiciest details. Before we break it down, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Are you ready? Let's go.
I mean, I don't think like anyone can genuinely feel 100% safe, especially like with the movement of the league.
Picture this, the Indiana Fever, a team with sky-high expectations, stumbling out of the gate. 1 win, 8 losses. The kind of start that makes fans question everything and players doubt themselves. But here's where it gets wild. The Fever's rocky beginning set the stage for one of the most unexpected turnarounds in WNBA history. Lexie Hull, giving us the inside scoop, paints a picture of a locker room torn between frustration and hope. "We were better than our record," she insists, her voice tinged with a mix of disappointment and determination. "So many games we lost, but deep down, we knew we should have won." It's the kind of belief that can either break a team or forge them into something special. Then came the moment that changed everything. The fans continued to believe, and support them they did. We're talking packed arenas, social media buzzing with fever, and ticket sales through the roof. Remember those preseason games where you could hear a pin drop? Not anymore. Imagine that.
So fun to have fans so engaged in a game, and I definitely feel like second half of the season, all of our shots, threes going up, fans are out of their seats and expecting it to go in. So that just feels so good to feel the confidence from them. But I would say I don't think there's extra pressure. I think it's just, it's so much more exciting. It's an exciting environment, electric environment, when you have fans so engaged.
A team that started the season as underdogs, now feeding off the energy of a fan base that refused to give up on them. It's the kind of story that makes sports so captivating, isn't it? And through it all, the Fever stuck together. Hull's pride is palpable as she talks about the team's resilience. "We never turned on each other," she says, her voice steady and sure. That mindset, that unity, it's what got us through those tough times.
All of us just kind of like stuck together, trusted the process, and realized that like the start of the season isn't the biggest deal. It's how we finish and how we get better, and really proud of just the resiliency of the group.
From underdogs to playoff contenders, a transformation that left the entire league stunned. But as incredible as this turnaround was, it was just the beginning. Because waiting in the wings was a rookie phenom about to take the WNBA by storm. Caitlin Clark arrived, and she was about to show everyone why the hype was real. What is it about Caitlin Clark that lit up the fire in the Fever locker room?
Once we found out we had the #1 pick, and once Caitlin declared, that kind of changed things, I think, for the city a little bit. People were just so excited to come support the Fever. We felt that in our preseason games. We felt that even on draft night, we filled Gamebridge, which felt crazy. Like we're not even doing anything in Gamebridge, and people are excited to watch the screen and see who we draft.
Rookies are supposed to lay low and learn the ropes, right? Not Caitlin Clark. From the moment she stepped into the Fever's locker room, she turned everything upside down. But it wasn't just her game that was making waves. According to Lexie Hull, there's a side to Clark that the cameras don't catch. One that's transforming the team in ways no one saw coming. Picture this: Clark, barely out of college, walking into a pro locker room packed with seasoned veterans. The expectations? Sky high. The pressure? Intense. But Clark didn't just meet those expectations. She shattered them. From day one, she brought an energy that electrified the entire team. Clark's impact went far beyond her highlight reel plays. Hull reveals that it's Clark's competitive fire that's really changing the game.
I mean, we play against guys during practice. We play against ourselves. But like if her team's not winning in a scrimmage or a drill, like she's competitive and she's gonna do everything she can to win. And I think it just shows the type of player she is. Like if it's not working, she's gonna try to figure it out. And you definitely want her on your side.
This isn't just about personal stats. Clark's drive is contagious, pushing everyone to elevate their game. Yet, even superstars have their adjustment periods. Clark had to learn the ropes of the pro game, facing defenders who've been shutting down elite scorers for years. But here's where Clark's true magic shines through. Instead of crumbling under the pressure, she used it to fuel her growth. And more importantly, she brought her teammates along for the ride.
She sees the game at a bigger scale, obviously with the platform that she's created for herself, and then that's transitioned to the game. It's huge. And I think, like, for me, especially as a point guard and as someone that's delivering a lot of the passes that lead to shots, like, if I miss, she's definitely going to say, like, you got the next one. Like, I can count on her for keeping me, like, confident and positive. So yeah, I think that shows the player that she is and the leader she is as a point guard.
It's not just empty words. Clark's confidence in her teammates is reshaping the entire team's mindset. Suddenly, every player on the court feels like they can take on the world. If you've made it this far and are enjoying the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. We know watching this video takes some of your time, and we appreciate you. Now back to the action.
She's all like, she'll just throw out comments that are just funny. Like, no one else is saying it but Caitlin.
But it's not all serious business with Clark. Remember that electric atmosphere we mentioned? Well, it turns out Clark knows how to keep things light too. Hull leans in, a mischievous grin spreading across her face as she prepares to share a story that had the entire team in stitches.
There was one practice, Christy like turns on loud music because I can't remember where we were going, but we knew the arena was going to be loud. And so she turns on this like loud music, and Caitlin screams, she's like, "Can someone turn it off? It's giving me a migraine." And everyone's like, what? And Christy like reacted and said, "What did you say?" And she like repeated it. And all of us were just we were all dying, because if I would have said that, if anyone on our team would have said that and then been asked, "What did you say?" and you repeat it, like no one else is repeating it, but she did. And it was the funniest thing. We're all like rolling on the ground laughing.
The locker room erupts in laughter. The tension of the moment completely shattered. It's moments like these that reveal the true impact of Clark's arrival. She's not just changing the Fever's record, she's transforming the entire culture of the team. Her ability to seamlessly blend fierce competitiveness with lighthearted fun is creating a locker room where players can push themselves to the limit while still enjoying every moment. And the effects are spilling onto the court in ways no one could have predicted. Clark's presence is opening up the game for everyone. Hull explains how Clark's ability to draw defenders is creating wide-open shots for her teammates. Suddenly, the Fever's offense isn't just about one superstar. It's a dynamic force where every player is a threat.
Part of my role is just getting to the open spots, and we have such a good offense that people find the open person. So to be that open person, you get excited. You get excited for the opportunity to shoot and score and be part of the momentum.
As we watch Clark's rookie season unfold, one thing is clear. This is just the beginning. The Caitlin Clark effect is real, and it's reshaping not just the Indiana Fever, but potentially the entire landscape of the WNBA. Success in sports can be a fickle thing. One moment you're celebrating a playoff berth, the next, well, let's just say the Fever's offseason started with a bang that no one saw coming. What happened in the Indiana locker room that led to such a drastic decision?
Former Hawkeye Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever will have a new head coach next season. The organization announced they have parted ways with Christy Sides after 2 years.
The Indiana Fever, fresh off their first playoff appearance in years, shocked the basketball world by firing head coach Christy Sides. It's the kind of move that leaves fans scratching their heads. After all, wasn't this team on the rise? Hadn't they just turned things around? But sometimes, success isn't enough. The Fever's management had their eyes on something bigger, a championship. And they believed Sides wasn't the coach to get them there. Behind closed doors, concerns were mounting. Defensive strategies that left opponents wide open. Rotations that had players out of sync. In-game adjustments that came too late, if at all. And let's not forget the referee management, or lack thereof, that cost the team crucial calls.
While decisions like this are never easy, it's also imperative that we remain bold and assertive in our pursuit of our goals, which includes maximizing our talent and bringing another WNBA championship back to the great state, I'm putting that in because it is a great state, of Indiana. Coach Sides was an incredible representative of the Fever in our community, and we wish her nothing but success in the future. This is new Fever president of basketball operations.
These weren't just minor hiccups. They were roadblocks on the path to greatness. And for a team with Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, Lexie Hull, and a roster full of young talent, Greatness was the only acceptable destination. But what about the players? How did they take this sudden shift? Lexie Hull, our insider on all things Fever, gives us a glimpse into the team's reaction. Coach Sides, she was always there for us, Hull reveals, her voice a mix of gratitude and uncertainty. She believed in us when no one else did. It's tough to see her go.
I mean, it's hard. I think, like, in this profession, like, things just are so fluid and you never know what to expect. You never get comfortable. And I mean, heading into next year, this will be my 4th head coach in 4 years. So just it's a crazy job. And I'm really sad for Christy. I think she's a great person, a great leader. Excited to see what she does in the future.
Yet even as Hull expresses her appreciation for Sides, there's an undercurrent of excitement in her words. But you know what? This team, we're ready for the next level. But here's where things get really interesting. This coaching change isn't just about the Fever. It's a signal to the entire WNBA. Indiana is putting the league on notice. They're not here to participate. They're here to dominate.
Excited about where our new coach will take us. So yeah, it's unfortunate. And it's, I mean, looking at the league, 7 new coaches, 7 teams with new head coaches, that's an insane statistic. Like, the teams are going to look so different and they're going to play different. So it's exciting future for the league, but it's also like, it's sad to see that some eras are ending.
It's a bold statement from a team that was at the bottom of the standings just a few years ago. But that's the kind of confidence that comes with having a roster full of young stars and a management team willing to make the tough calls. As the dust settles on this shocking decision, one thing is clear: the Indiana Fever are all in. They've tasted success and now they're hungry for more. The question is, can they handle the pressure that comes with these sky-high expectations?
I think it's moving in a good direction. I think that it's because it's more competitive and there's more eyes on it. The pool of coaches that we can choose from, I think, will only get bigger and bigger. I think we're going to have great coaches coming up, and just excited to see, what those eras look like. Like, it's unpredictable at this point, but excited to, talk about it in a year from now.
Fame hit the Indiana Fever like a freight train. One minute they're flying under the radar, the next they're dodging paparazzi at the supermarket. But here's the kicker: the real challenge wasn't the crowds or the cameras. It was something far more insidious, lurking in the palm of every player's hand. The Fever's sudden rise to stardom wasn't just about packed arenas and TV appearances. It was about a complete transformation of their daily lives. Lexie Hull found herself at the center of this whirlwind, and she's spilling the tea on what it's really like to go from underdog to overnight sensation. Picture this: you're just trying to grab some milk and eggs, but suddenly you're surrounded by fans. Hull laughs as she recounts,
walking through the grocery store in Indianapolis and trying to just go get some groceries, and someone fist bumps me and says, "Go Fever." That's just a really cool environment, and it shows, the dedication of the fans and the fandom in the city. So that part's been awesome.
But with great fame comes great responsibility. And the Fever were about to learn that lesson the hard way. The spotlight can be blinding, and the pressure to perform can be overwhelming. Hull admits the following: "And the spotlight is great, and it's a huge deal for the WNBA and women's sports, but at the end of the day, our job is to perform." It's a tightrope walk between embracing their newfound popularity and staying focused on the game. And then there's the beast that is social media. It's a double-edged sword, capable of boosting confidence one minute and crushing spirits the next. Hull reveals the team's strategy for staying sane in the digital age.
It's hard. It's easy to say, don't read it. But everybody does a little bit. And I think it's having that support system to help keep you on track.
It's easier said than done, especially when the temptation to seek validation after a tough loss is stronger than ever. But even with these precautions, the emotional toll of constant scrutiny is real. Hull doesn't sugarcoat it. It's a hard part of the job, but it comes along with it, unfortunately. It's a raw admission that reminds us of the human cost of fame, something that's often overlooked in the glitz and glamour of professional sports. So how are the Fever handling this intense pressure? According to Hull, it's all about sticking together. The team has created a fortress of support, shielding each other from the outside noise and focusing on what really matters: the game they love.
The biggest thing is finding people to kind of get you out of that cycle and get you to thinking about the positive things you did, even though a lot of times people online aren't talking about the positive things.
As we look to the future, one thing is clear: the Indiana Fever aren't just changing the game on the court. They're redefining what it means to be a pro athlete in the age of social media. They're proving that true success isn't just about wins and losses, but about how you handle the pressure when all eyes are on you. The spotlight on the Fever is only getting brighter, with Caitlin Clark gracing the cover of Time magazine and the team's championship aspirations growing stronger by the day. There's no telling how high they can soar. One thing's for sure, this is just the beginning of a new era in women's basketball, and the Indiana Fever are leading the charge.
All of these people were supporting me this whole time, and I didn't know that they were supporting me until that moment. So like, you kind of forget that there's these people behind the scenes until they come out of the woodwork and say like, I've been following along this whole time. Like, I'm so proud of you. And that just feels so good to know that there's, such a community behind everybody on our team, even when you don't hear it every day.
From rock bottom to the playoff promised land, the Indiana Fever's journey has been nothing short of extraordinary. They've weathered storms, silenced doubters, and emerged as a force to be reckoned with. But this isn't just about one magical season. It's about the birth of a basketball powerhouse. Lexie Hull and her teammates have shown us what true resilience looks like. They've faced adversity head-on and come out swinging. And now, with Caitlin Clark leading the charge, the sky's the limit for this young, hungry squad. But the Fever's impact goes beyond the court. They're changing the game, drawing in fans by the thousands and sparking a new era of women's basketball. This team isn't just chasing championships. They're inspiring a whole generation of ballers. The Indiana Fever aren't just playing basketball. They're rewriting the playbook on what women's sports can be. And trust me, this is only the beginning. Let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.